Hello, my fellow readers. Let me just move that. It's about to fall. Didn't want my mic to fall. Hello, my fellow readers. I Dark Symphony 777 with another fan fiction review. As always, a link to the story will be in the description below. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell for notifications, leave a comment in the comment section below on your thoughts of the story. And finally, this is my opinion. My opinion is not indicative of everything in the world, so please respect that. So, I am doing two more stories: the Jackelope Valley Festival and Dinner with the Folks. 7 stories left. 7 stories left. I'm almost there. After nearly 30. No, wait, 27. I am dead. and hopefully I actually get comments. Yes. So yeah, there's 2 more stories. So let's just ignore that. Ignore that too. So let's talk about the Jackelope Valley Festival. So, what is this story about? Well, this story is forgettable. At least with like Through the Fire and Flames, it was kind of so bad it's good, because it's like, oh, that had some good ideas. It's just the person half-assed it. This one is forgettable. I just drew a blank on it, but don't worry, I do remember it. This is kind of a similar situation to that story in the fact that this has a lot of good ideas. It's just, this story is just way too short. Honestly, this story should have been way longer. I'm just going to leave it at that. This story's main problem is it's way too short. But the plot is, 1,000 years ago, Celestia cursed this place called Jackelope Valley. Why? Well, you know. And ever since then, after a while, they started doing a sort of rock show. It's sort of like a music festival, like in the Outback. I think there was like a Scooby-Doo movie based off it that did like a music festival in the Outback. But yeah, kind of like that. And Lyra was actually invited there to do a show. So Lyra said, "I'm gonna go." And then she has a 1+1, but then Raindrops finds out that a band called the Daughters of Discord are playing. And she goes, "Can I go? No. Can I go? I'm gonna take Mama. Can I go? Fine." And then they go and they get joined up by Vinyl Scratch, who wants, she's basically working there to help with the tech stuff, but also secretly wants to play her own music. Just it kind of bites her at the end. They go to the valley, and then they meet the Daughters of Discord. They meet some other bandmates. They meet the crew. But during the night, Lyra runs into a jackalope, which is basically, let me get a picture of it. There's the jackalope. Look at that thing, it's so adorable. Oh, you just want to pet it and hug it and cuddle it, and then know you're particular project. Oh, someone made a 3D model of it. Oh, that's, wait, why am I looking at no, wait. This is not look at a jackalope from Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan Art Hour. This is a review. There we go. Don't mind the jackalope. It's adorable. But in that world, there's other monsters out there. But yeah. Raindrops finds a jackalope and basically does the right thing by taking it to the nursing station in the festival, and it's like, we're gonna take care of it. However, Raindrops, Vinyl Scratch, Lyra, and one of the members of the Daughters of Discord, Thunder Axe, they all get a dream saying that in order to save the valley, they need to get the jackalope and take it somewhere, which is what they do. Excuse me. They set up a zany scheme to basically get the jackalope away from them. However, and also the fact that Lyra notices a dream saying that that the staff and crew they're trying to help, but they're still gonna die. But not only that, but if they nurse it back to health, they're just basically gonna use it for an attraction to make money off it. It's a very nature, I guess you could say, let nature be free sort of theme to it. Like it's trying to be that. And again, this is the problem with this story. We're not given any reason to care about anything. This seems of wanting to try and be connected to the story, but at the same time try and be as isolated as it can, kind of like Secret Atlantis and Hero Oten. At least those two stories have at least one thread each. However minor, like you have Atlantis wanting to communicate, wanting to restart trade nations with Luna from being woken up from her 1,000-year sleep, and with Hero Oten, you have the Shrine of Tirek. Tirek is gonna play a part in Tamalon. That makes sense. This story has like zero connection to anything, and that's because we don't know why. We don't know why Corona decided to nuke this valley. We don't know why the Jackalopes are this important. We're not given particular reason to care about the Daughters of Discord with the whole, and also the whole Vibe thing. We're not given any reason to care about the workers as they're trying to help. Like it's like they're trying to help, but they're still trying to be selfish because they need the money, because they're still operating at a loss for these festivals. Because of the valley, because less and less people are actually coming to the valley to come to these shows. And we're just not. And by the time we're even given a reason to care, it ends. And like it's just like the previous story through the valley, valley the previous story. We're not given any reason to care about anything that goes on. At least that story that has connection to the rest of the series, with the Salamanders joining Corona, with the Hourglass being important, with we're introduction to the dragon, Luna, getting some world building with Luna, and give some time to at least give us something with the non-Trixie main six. Well, this one is it's just there. I'm just ambivalent to the story. It just exists. I don't have anything bad to say about it, because even what we have right now is decent, but I don't have anything really outstanding to say about this story. It's just there. Kind of a shame that this author's only contribution to the series. Characters. I mean, we have an inkling of characters, mainly just Raindrops being a fan of Dark Discord, which are like, I think are implied to be crystal ponies. Yeah, Vinyl Scratch. Yeah, Vinyl Scratch, who basically who's kind of bitter over the fact that she constantly has to set up the equipment, rather she just wants to actually play the show. And hilariously, when she actually does hijack the actual speakers, because she set up all the speakers surround in order to help the valley heal, she basically is told, you're never ever again. Like, I got kicked out of the festival permanently. It's like, are you sad? Worth it. Yeah, Thunder Axe, who I don't particularly care about, because Thunder Axe is just a nothing character, and Lyra is really just a nothing character. I mean, you have Raindrops and Vinyl. That's it. There's no. I don't think the grammar, no grammar, pacing. It's just way too fast. You're not given enough time to really connect with anything before it's. And by the time you do even get that inkling of connecting with something, it ends. It ends. That's it. But yeah, let's just move on. I wouldn't recommend this story. Like if the Jackalopes come into the picture, because the story does end kind of on a cliffhanger, with a rabbit wandering into the water and then starting to drink of it, and then starting to become a jackalope as well. It does leave an opportunity for a sequel to the story. Well, as far as I know, there's none. But yeah, let's move on to Dinner with the Folks. This is another short story by RK Striker JK5. Yeah, this story is entertaining. So, this is basically just a typical parents meet each other. Lyra and Bonbon, they're they're going through the motions of romance and stuff like that. They're dating, but they want to. Lyra and Bonbon talk to their parents. Bonbon has two fathers. They're okay. Like they're really just there. No. You're more excited about Bonbon's mom. I like. We'll talk about them when we get to it. And they talk to them, and they basically want to say it's like, well, you're not getting older. You dated for several years. Why don't you just have not? And so they think about it and said, well, we should. And then they realize, wait, our parents never really talk to each other. It's like, no. And so they decide to set up a dinner for them to get to know each other. Typical shenanigans ensue. Lots of miscommunications because of misunderstandings. Long story short, they have a sort of like general shop, and they're kind of miffed that Lyra's parents don't really go to their store to buy flowers because that's Davenport. Who the hell? Tin Taylor. There it is. Tin Taylor helped Roseluck's flower shop out, and so they got like a permanent discount. So they go there for their flowers, and and they get like a minor beef about that, and then it just ends up in a food fight and them just yelling at each other. But then while Bonbon and Lyra, they're trying to figure out how to get them to make up with each other. I actually like the neat twist in the story where instead of Lyra or Bonbon doing anything, they actually run into each other while they're still trying to recover, and then they just make up on their own. I think that's a really, really nice touch by RK. I think it's so many stories. Whenever it does like these miscommunication things, it's always like the people in the middle who always fix things. So having the people who cause the fight make up themselves by just acting like being the better people and realizing that they all goofed up. All four of them admit they goofed up, and also without even helping each other out, like Tin Taylor and Crud, who is Lyra's mother. Curry and where the hell? Oh, and Honeydew, Curry and Honeydew. Basically, Tin and Curry Honeydew. They run into each other as they're trying to recover, and they realize that that they need help. And then Davenport goes into Curry's shop and realizes that he has to do things He's basically running the store by himself, and Davenport decides to help out. It's a really mature way of approaching this sort of formula, because even like Lyra and Bonbon are like they're ready to like we're gonna fix our family and then get married, and then they realize, wait, did they just help themselves? Huh. I guess they did. And then they just make up, and then they just say, go for it. I don't think they get married anytime soon, but it's nice to know that they both all four of them throw their support. So when it comes to characters of the story, yeah, four. Lyra and Bonbon are not relevant. You have Lyra's parents, Tin Taylor, and Davenport. Davenport's also is known as the quills and sofa guy. And Tin Taylor is a construction worker. They're all right. I mean, I get they're supposed to contrast because Lyra is kind of the more eccentric of the two, being like the spellmain and stuff like that. So it makes sense that she would have relatively blandish parents. That doesn't make just because they're bland doesn't mean they're bad. They're really well done for what they're trying to do. Being just they're just two gay guys who just happen to love each other. That's fine, and the author makes them work. It also works well because they contrast the kind of like contrasting nature of Honeydew and Curry. Curry is basically just the blandest guy possible. It's like, yes, he has like a big bushy mustache, and you're like, yes, dear. He's like the doormat. And then we got Honeydew. Oh God, we're thinking Honeydew. You are hilarious. You're like the best part of the story. Basically, Honeydew is a mad scientist. What is she a mad scientist of? Health and science. Combined, I shall make asparagus taste like candy canes. Yes, 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 yes. She basically wants to make healthy food taste like sugary sweet candy. And it is a nice contrast compared to her husband, where he was just like, yes, dear. Understand, dear. Uh-huh. Yes, dear. And she's just crazy, kooky, spooky, scary skeletons. She's not all there in the head. She reveals at the end where she actually goes to a doctor and she takes pills to help her with her mental problems. And the pills do help, but they don't help 100% of the time. She still goes off the deep end, just not as often. It's a really realistic case of portraying a mentally ill mentally someone with like mental problems, because I do have mental problems myself, but I don't take medicine because my mom's a pill pusher, and she basically was like, you're gonna take like 20 pills at once every day. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But yeah, this is dinner with. There's not much to say. Just like with Jackalope Valley Festival, there's not much to say. I mean, this one's the better of the two. It is a good story. I would recommend this because it does, despite the fact it doesn't really accomplish anything in the long run. It's just an overall very comedic story with like the. I guess you could say my favorite part of the story would actually be them making up. I think, like I said, I think making up all four of them admitting their mistakes, realize they goofed up and it possibly hurt the others, is really mature, and I just like how it's done. I don't really have anything more to say about these two stories. So I guess this is Dinner with the Folks in Jackalope Valley Festival. There's just not much to say. Grammar wise, there's no grammar errors, and pacing wise, it's paced perfectly. This is a story that's perfect to be short. That doesn't drag on too long, and it's just right, just in that area where it's long enough that you understand what's going on, but not too long that it doesn't drag. But yeah, that's these two stories. I'll see you next time. This has been Dark Symphony 777, and